Some people grow up surrounded by movement, roads that lead somewhere, borders that open instead of close, cities that breathe opportunity without announcing it. Others grow up in places that feel still, not peaceful, just still, as if the world decided long ago that nothing urgent needed to happen there. No one explains this difference while you are young. You are told stories about effort, discipline, patience, and character. You are told that success is personal and failure is individual. But quietly, without asking for permission, geography begins to work on the mind. It shapes what feels possible before you ever think about what you want. A child born near power does not feel powerful. Power feels normal there. Opportunity feels casual. Access feels invisible. Doors open without ceremony, and because of that, they are rarely noticed. A child born far from those centers does not feel unlucky at first. They feel hopeful. Hope fills the space where access is missing. Hope becomes a substitute for structure. Over time, that difference changes how people think, not just how they live. In some places, planning makes sense. In others, planning feels like pretending. In some places, the future feels close enough to touch. In others, the future feels like a rumor passed down by people who left and never came back. This is not about blame. It is not about systems being good or bad. It is about proximity, about what happens when certain advantages are clustered together, quietly reinforcing each other, while other places are left to survive on belief alone. Geography is not loud. It does not announce its power. It works slowly, shaping habits, expectations, and risk tolerance. It decides which dreams feel realistic and which feel embarrassing to say out loud. People living close to opportunity are allowed to fail safely. Failure there is often temporary, sometimes even celebrated. It becomes experience, a lesson, a story. In places far from opportunity, failure carries weight. It lingers. It changes how families eat, how long children stay in school, how much patience is available for trying again. So people adapt. They become cautious where caution is necessary. They become aggressive where waiting feels dangerous. They take shortcuts not because they are careless, but because long roads rarely lead anywhere from where they are standing. This is how geography turns into behavior. It explains why some societies value stability while others chase momentum. Why some cultures invest in long-term systems while others rely on quick wins and personal hustle. These are not moral differences. They are survival responses. When resources are close, patience feels intelligent. When resources are distant, speed feels like the world often celebrates the visible winners without noticing the invisible conditions that made winning possible. Success stories travel easily. Context does not. The listener is left comparing their effort to someone else's outcome, without realizing they were standing on entirely different ground. Over time, this comparison becomes heavy. People begin to internalize limitations as personal flaws. They blame themselves for ceilings they did not build. They doubt their intelligence, discipline, or worth, without seeing the silent forces that narrowed their choices before they ever made one. And yet, something else happens too. Scarcity sharpens perception. Places without excess often produce people who read situations deeply, who understand human behavior, who sense risk and opportunity quickly. Constraint trains awareness. It creates thinkers, not just planners. This is why influence does not only flow from powerful places. Ideas, resilience, and creativity often come from edges, not centers. Pressure produces insight. Distance produces perspective. But insight alone does not move economies. Awareness alone does not build infrastructure. Knowing how the world works does not automatically place you inside the parts of the world that reward that knowledge. This tension is where many lives sit. Understanding without access, intelligence without leverage, vision without backing. And that tension shapes how people relate to money, authority, and hope. In some countries, money feels like a tool. In others, it feels like escape. In some places, power feels distant but predictable. In others, it feels random, personal, and close. These feelings change how people trust institutions, how they approach risk, and how they define success. When stability is rare, people chase moments. When stability is common, people build systems. Neither approach is wrong. Both make sense where they exist. The mistake happens when one is judged by the standards of the other. The world praises long-term thinking while ignoring that long-term thinking requires long-term security. It praises discipline without acknowledging that discipline grows best where survival is not constantly interrupted. Geography quietly decides which virtues are rewarded and which are punished. This is why some nations rise steadily while others move in bursts. Progress looks different depending on where you stand. Growth can be slow and compounding, or fast and fragile. Both are responses to environment. An environment does not only mean land or borders. It means access to trade, exposure to ideas, historical momentum, and how close a place is to where decisions are made. Power concentrates, not because it is evil, but because systems naturally pull toward efficiency. And efficiency gathers resources together. Once gathered, those resources protect themselves by becoming normal. From the inside, it feels earned. From the outside, it feels unreachable. Neither perspective is complete on its own. What often gets lost is the human cost of misunderstanding this. People begin to fight themselves instead of adjusting their strategy. They adopt advice meant for different terrain. They blame their character instead of reading their environment. But awareness changes something. Not outcomes immediately, not circumstances overnight. But awareness softens self-blame. It replaces shame with clarity. It allows people to stop asking why they are not moving faster and start asking what kind of ground they are standing on. Geography does not trap people forever, but it does set the starting speed. It explains why effort sometimes produces very different results, even when it looks the same from a distance. Understanding this does not remove responsibility. It simply places it where it belongs, on navigation, not self-punishment. Some people are born near the center of the map. Others grow up learning how to read maps deeply because they must. Neither path is meaningless. Neither path is guaranteed. The world is not fair, but it is patterned. And once patterns are noticed, confusion becomes quieter. Comparison loses its grip. Progress becomes personal again, not borrowed from someone else's story. Where you are standing is already influencing how you think, what you fear, and what you believe is possible. Seeing that clearly does not free you instantly, but it gives you something just as important. And from orientation, movement becomes intentional instead of desperate. The world shapes people long before people shape the world. Not as a sentence, not as an excuse, just as a fact that stops the noise long enough for clarity to arrive. Some truths are not meant to motivate. They are meant to settle you. This is one of them. And if this stayed with you longer than you expected, don't leave yet. There's another thought coming next, and it connects in a way that won't be obvious at first. Subscribe, not because you agree, but because some ideas take time to settle. The next video will sit right beside this one, quietly waiting. Thanks for watching.